yeah. So I mean, like I said, I mean, this is the first Christmas song that Bon Jovi's done, and like,
Dude, that was a really sweet song.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
That was an original?
It's an original, yeah.
Nice.
Just gives you all the Christmas feels.
Although it was a bit of a shock when they finally showed Bon Jovi. I was like, oh shit, he's old. And I'm like, well, of course he's old.
Of course he's old. It's been around for like 30 plus years.
Yeah.
You know? Look, I fucking love Bon Jovi. I've always loved Bon Jovi. Still to this day, one of the best fucking concerts I've ever been to is a Bon Jovi concert. And I mean, I don't think there's a single album of theirs that I don't like. I even like the new stuff. You know, I mean, I think they've mellowed. You know, they've definitely mellowed over the years, but like Bon Jovi is one of those bands that anytime they come up with a new album, I will listen to it. And you know, and I definitely want to talk about a couple of Bon Jovi albums in a future episode. Like, definitely, absolutely. But yeah, I just stumbled onto this song, and I really, really like it. It's got that classic Bon Jovi vibe, but it still feels Christmassy, you know, whatever that means. And I like that it's open to interpretation. You know, it's you know, you could read it as, you know, Christmas isn't Christmas without you, meaning like a lover, or it could be a friend, it could be you know, a family member. It's basically about the point of Christmas is to share it with people, like to have people around. You know, same thing with Raya. You know, like that's why you know, the lockdown was so traumatic for some people. Like, because remember, like, people were celebrating like Raya over Zoom and stuff, and we made a movie about it.
There you go. I was just about to say
we made a movie about it, which you can watch on YouTube. It's called Quarantine Raya.
Nice.
Don't say we don't have our finger on the pulse. But yeah, so that's something that I really, really liked about it. That it has, you know, it's got the right message, and I like that they didn't try to go all rocky with it. You know,
it's very classic.
It's a classic. It's a classic Christmas song.
But it's still Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Although I was like, where was Richie Sambora? Does he look so different now?
No, Richie Sambora hasn't been with the band for a little while now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
shit.
I mean, the thing is, it's all like he was with them for a really long time, and then I don't know, there was some kind of issue, and he quit, and then they were touring without him for a little bit, and then he rejoined the band, and then he wasn't with the band again. But yeah, over like the last like 10, 15 years, it's been a little touch and go. Like, he hasn't always been there, and I don't know. I haven't really bothered to find out like the details behind it, whether it's some kind of dispute between him and John Bon Jovi or whatever it is. I mean, I guess when you are, without a doubt, a very huge part of the creative process, and the band is named after your bandmate, I guess that's gotta get to you at some point.
Well, hey, I mean, Van Halen kicked out Van Halen at one point.
Yeah.
Even I think Santana kicked out Santana at one point too, and still called himself Santana.
Yeah, but I think that was never going to happen with this one. John Bon Jovi may be a lot of things, one thing, but he's one savvy motherfucker. So don't ever get the impression that John Bon Jovi is going to let anyone kick John Bon Jovi out of Bon Jovi.
I was going to ask, are you more of a fan of long-haired, slippery than wet, when wet Bon Jovi, or shorter hair, give me something for the pain and it's my life?
Are we talking music or the look?
Music. Or do you just count it all as one?
Like, it's hard because they're different vibes, but you know, it's still the same band. Like, I love It's My Life. I think that's a fucking awesome song. Like, it's impossible to listen to that and not want to just go out there and do something. You know, and I feel the same way about Living on a Prayer. You know, like, look, Slippery When Wet, it's just a watershed moment. It's just lightning in a bottle. You know, like, in terms of like, that's my favorite Bon Jovi albums are Slippery When Wet. I love New Jersey, but I prefer Keep the Faith. I prefer Keep the Faith to New Jersey, and I really, really love These Days. Like, I really love These Days. I think that's a fucking good album, you know. And when they did Crush, like with It's My Life, like, again, like, just they evolved. It's a slightly different sound, but it's still unquestionably them.
Yes.
You know, so to choose like which one I would like prefer, it's really really hard. Like in terms of the look, I prefer shorter hair. I was never a huge fan of the big perm Bon Jovi. Like great music, fucking questionable hair. But in terms of like the sound, I mean, I would say that Bounce was probably the last Bon Jovi album I heard where I was like, yeah, I mean, I pretty much love the entire album. Every album they've done since then, there's good tracks, but I don't feel as strongly about the entire album as I used to whenever back in the day when Bon Jovi would come up with a new album. I think Keep the Faith is a fucking incredible album. Dry County is an incredible song. They've done a lot of songs, really amazing work that haven't necessarily gotten a lot of airplay. And the only way you'd know about them is if you were a fan. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely want to talk about them again at some point.
All right. Awesome.
But that's my pick. Merry fucking Christmas.
It's funny that you say it in that way, because my pick, like I said earlier, like I'm apologizing in advance if I offend any hardcore Christians with this final pick for my new section, but this song came out very recently. My original pick was Wheatus re-recorded Teenage Dirtbag.
All right.
Yeah, it's called Christmas Dirtbag, which is very cute, right? And, you know, anyone from a certain era loves Teenage Dirtbag.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But then this track dropped, and it's like I don't even know if this group's going to continue. They're called Beast Reality, and this is Merry Motherfucking Christmas featuring Exhibit.
Let's do it.